Okay, welcome back to Let's Play 3 of my modded Fallout 4 game. I'm going to try in these videos to split it into 3 sections. I'm going to try to make an intro, which will talk about what I want to do, and then I'm going to actually have the gameplay, and then I'm going to have an analysis towards the end of that video, which will be outside of the game, talking about any potential problems that I may or may not have had. And that way it might help others when they're modding their game. So the playthrough, the kind of like the Let's Play is gonna, it basically to kind of, if you haven't seen the previous videos, it's kind of designed to get a feel for the modded game, get a feel for the modded part of it, to see how the dynamics and everything interact with my actual gameplay. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the game. We should be ready to go. Where I'm at now is I've actually gone to Ten Pines Bluff. I've went ahead and did the Concord quest with Sturgis. So I've done the Concord quest with Sturgis. They have take a look, and we can take a look here and see what the workshops we have. Abernathy. Okay, now take a look at Abernathy here. Let me show you again, Abernathy now has 4 food, 4 water, 4 power, and 4 beds. However, it's the bed count that is showing for food, water, and power. And then if you take a look at Red Rocket is fine. You take a look at Sanctuary is fine. Starlight Drive-In is fine. Sunshine Tidings is fine. And then you take a look at Taffington Boathouse. That may be fine as well, but that is where I just cleared it out. I didn't really do anything with Taffington. I just completely cleared it out. So it seems like when there's any processing done, when anything changes on a settlement that is not in a settlement you are not in. Well, that's not entirely true. For some reason, when there's a change on a settlement, those values, food, water, power, and bed, always equals 4. Before this particular video, just to kind of give some context to this before I actually run to do Corvega. Before this video, everything was correct, except there was no power. Well, there's no power, and there was no defense. So all I did is run to Abernathy, and I put down, I think it was 8 turrets. So I think they're 10. I think they're 10 apiece. So I put down 8 turrets. That gave defense 80, and I put down a small generator, which that gave 4 power. I don't know if it's the turrets or the generator that did it. It might be a problem with the power system. So this could be an engine level bug, but it seems like power might be the problem. What I'm gonna do is, let's go to. I tell you what I will do if I remember. I will go to Taffington's, and I will probably record that in a different video. I'll go to Taffington's, and I will actually put down just a generator. I'm only gonna put down a generator. I'm not gonna put any defense. There's nobody there, so it's not gonna matter. I'm gonna put down a generator, and then I'm gonna see if that affects the numbers. If that's going to let's go. Let's do this. Instead of targeting, let's go thermal. Or infrared, let's do this. And see if it's a problem when the power changes. Now, I was not anywhere near Abernathy. Well, it might have happened when I was at Abernathy, because I had to go there to add those values. So we will definitely see if that's the issue. So maybe this is a problem where the variables, it's not time to update the variables. It's not really time if it's done, let's say, once every 24-hour in-game period. Let's just say that maybe that's how the engine does it. It fires a script off. It actually fires a script off every, let's say, 24 in-game hours. And I do have the time scale set to 6, so I am slowing everything down. That way I can spend more time, when it's dark, I can spend more time in the dark or spend more time in the day. We are running at nighttime, so Feral Nights is active. They should not spawn as frequently because the time scale is now slower, and I do believe it goes by a random time before the next group of spawns. I've turned off any type of alerts, so I'm not going to know if they spawn or not. But back to the numbers. This has been going on for a long time. I know it's in a lot of playthroughs everyone seems to have. They seem to notice this, and they tie it up with televisions. However, I do not think in Abernathy there is a television. I think this has to do with the game engine itself. I believe this is a game engine issue. And I don't think that it's fully updating the variables properly. I think there's a bleed through. To me, it's almost like there's a single get function that gets a variable, and you put a, what in the world was that? It must be a shopping cart. Let's see. I need to make it to, we're going to Lexington. So, you know what? We could fast travel. If I fast travel, I am definitely going to pull some ghouls. It's gonna change a lot of time is gonna pass, so it's definitely gonna give us some ghouls to go through. And that makes me wonder if we could actually test it. That'd actually be a good test, by the way. Wait, what is that? Let's make sure that's not gonna be a problem. Nope, that's not a problem. I don't really care about him. I've cleared Gorski's cabin. I did that real quickly. I went ahead and cleared Gorski's cabin because I wanted to focus on not Starlight, but Lexington the most, the Raiders. I went ahead and got the quest to kill the Raiders at Corvega. So I haven't really acquired the workshop there at Ten Pines. That's coming up. But there seems to be some kind of problem, and I think it's an engine level problem, with workshops. And I think it has to do with persistent variables. This has got to be the funkiest looking thing I've ever seen. It looks like a stork. Okay, I get it. You know, you tried to make a stork. I kind of get the stork thing. And I know animation is not necessarily, you know, a person to try to be good at everything, or, you know, excel at everything is kind of difficult. It would be nice if some animators would come in, and if there was, you know, kind of like an idle animation where who just shot me? What was that? Where is that coming from? Somebody just shot me somewhere. Somebody was shooting.
Entering killing mode.
Surely Simone is not trying to shoot me. Like, why, Simone, would you want to shoot me? But it would be nice if an animator would have, let's say, an animation to show when something is idle or, you know, off alert. You haven't, like, you know, like where you have NPCs that are idle, they're just walking around, and when they're on alert, they'll actually be carrying their gun. They'll actually have their gun in like a ready position. Their weapon is pulled, and they're in a ready position. It would be nice if the animals also had that, but I do believe it's probably going to take an animator to do that. Someone who's familiar with animations and how to make them. Let's go ahead and save this. I'm doing long saves. I could do a short save like this, which is much quicker and doesn't really interrupt gameplay. But somewhere I've read that quick saves or you can corrupt your game save. I'm not sure how. It seems like it uses the same save function, other than just going to the menu to stop everything that's going on. However, I'm using Fall Souls, so that's not really going to stop. That's not really going to stop everything. All right, I'm running out of long shot ammo, so what we're going to do is let's switch to this. And we're going to have to, but let me tell you, I think what I'm going to need is I'm going to need an out. So if I draw in too many of these things, I'm going to need an out. I'm going to need to be able to run somewhere. All right, got him. That I thought was a headshot, but I guess it wasn't. Whoops. That was a headshot. Okay, we got him. We're going to have to clear these out first. Not all of Lexington. But you hear that noise? That squishy sound? I think that's one of those bloated dudes. It's either one of those bloated dudes or it's like a rotted, one of those diseased. It's either a bloated dude or it's a diseased feral. It didn't drop any ammo. Okay, so we're not going to worry about him. There might be some ammo. You know what to do? We're going to go this way. I'll take the coolant. Maybe I can make... I think coolant might have some antiseptic properties. I'm not really sure. Take the microfusion. Is he around this way? Yeah, he's probably up in that building there. Is where he is. Alright. Yeah, that's interesting. That did not drop anything. Alright, we're going to go... I'm going to aim for this bridge. Let's go for this bridge. The bridge will be a better... The bridge will be a much better... vantage point than... Because if for some reason random stalker spawns ghouls, I'm going to have raiders come in. Pack attack is going to draw in the raiders. I'm going to have ghouls. I can have ghouls spawn behind me. I can draw them in. So it's really not going to be the best situation to have. So let me grab the hunting rifle here. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be on alert when this happens. Let's see if I can make it through this without falling through a hole. I like the idea that there are holes in the bridge. I like that. I like the fact that you can fall through. It makes it a little more treacherous. Okay, let's see what we got. We got a guy here. Let's see if we can take this guy out. Okay, we got him. I think we got this guy. Alright, we got him. Alright, so that's 2 down. I want to clear at least outside of the building out. Because once I go in, I cannot reload a save from an interior cell. And I actually have tested... Okay, they're on alert from something. So, I wonder if it's him. It's probably that guy right there. Okay, we're going to do a quick save. And that way I won't have to do all this over again in case something unexpected happens. Definitely don't want the unexpected. God, I am puffing awful hard here. I don't think... Let's take a look here. I don't think... Yeah, it's definitely... I'm not over encumbered. I believe that's hot breathing. For those that mod their game, I believe that's hot breathing. And I think what it does, it really measures or considers the number of steps I've taken before stopping. So it has like a certain... I wonder if I could take him out. This is some of the AI I'm talking about. Like, there's no way this dude could actually know that I'm aiming at him. There's no way. But to keep from making it too easy, they have this probably random number that says, okay, you're being scoped. It's like that Alien Isolation AI, where you have a director. You have this thread running that's called the director. And it basically puts the alien in your path. But it doesn't tell the alien where you are. It just puts the alien in your general... We got it that time. It puts it in your general direction. And then it's up for the AI to figure out where you are. So maybe that's something that a lot... Oh, who's shooting? I see him now. He's up here. Okay, they saw me. He's up in here. Alright, I'm not going to be able to get him from that angle. Sometimes when I snipe, I'll actually go back and forth between different angles. But the AI can be really funny in that somehow it just knows where you are even when you shift around. And again, I think it's because... Let me do a quick save. I think that's because Bethesda couldn't really... They had a problem with the AI. They couldn't really make it... They had a problem with refining things. They could get the base elements in, but they couldn't... What was that? They couldn't really refine things. I think that was the problem. They had a problem in refining. So, by building in variables, like let's say weapon accuracy, and building in weapon damage, and things like that, those are what they tweaked. The distance that NPCs could detect you, they mitigated the inability to refine. I don't see anything else. They mitigated that inability to refine those variables with, or you know, to mitigate that lack of fine detailing with. Whoops. All right, so he saw me. Where are you, buddy? I know you're there somewhere. Don't think... I see him. Boy, he's got a pretty good shot. Oh, man, you moved. You moved. Don't move on me. I'm trying not to take a whole lot of hits. That's the problem. Run and gun. All right, he's down. All right, there's some other people down there. There is a lot more enemies to face here. All right, who is shooting me? I think it's that guy. That guy. Maybe. No, that is not that guy. Ah, too high. Alright, you're down. Alright, let's go ahead and... God, I hate spam saving, but... This dude is still pumping rounds. There is an enemy over there that is part of... Where are you, buddy? Not him. There is an enemy over there that is... That guy. The dude in that armor suit. Who is shooting me? Who is firing? Is it this dude?
Unit level increase.
That guy. Oops. That guy right there. He's part of, oh my god, faction reinforcements. So I can shoot him in the back. I can take him out from the back much easier than I can take him out head on. What I'm trying to do is get rid of these. I'm trying to get rid of these things that are going to cause a lot of damage. Because I can't take a lot of damage right off the bat. And with all the extra spawns, it does total up. Watch, I'll show you. I cannot headshot this guy. Let's get where you can headshot. That doesn't even hit. See? No damage. The Raider mech is not damaged. But I believe it's more of a back thing. How can I miss that? Oh, well, never mind. We're not going to worry about him. I think a shotgun will probably be better. Because he doesn't really damage me unless I hit him head on. I've got to find the guy that's actually shooting. There he is. So, whoops. That's going to work. Alright. So we've got to take these guys out first. There's another one. The mech doesn't shoot. I don't think he has a... I don't think he has a... Where's the guy that's actually shooting me? Alright, so we need to get down on the bottom. Alright, so let's get down on the ground to where we can have a better vantage point, because I can't really see here. They already know I'm here, so I'm not going to worry about running. So let's... Now there's ghouls down here too. I just heard it. I don't want to kite them in as well. That's something I don't want to do. Okay. VATS doesn't find anybody, so we're good there. Let's jump that. What is that? What is that?
Entering killing mode.
Tadpole. Yeah, I don't really care about that dude. Hey, let's not make this worse than it has to be. Okay, so let's find... Actually, I think the Raider mech can have like a gun. Like an automated gun of some kind. So that is a possibility. And yeah... The way that Bethesda handled the meshes is... It seems like their collision department had a little bit of an issue. Where I think it was where it tries to calculate the first couple... When a mesh moves... Let me go ahead and do a quick save on this. I think they had a problem when it tries to do the first couple moves. Like, let's say there's a mesh here, right? And I'm standing right by it. It's mesh on mesh. So technically, I can't go through this mesh. And if I want to jump, right, I'm going to go up the mesh. But I think in some cases, it can't deal with the mesh itself. So it allows you to shoot through. I'll actually allow, where is that? Let's get rid of that. It'll actually allow you to shoot through a mesh. Or as you saw in the previous video, I wasn't even on the same level. The dude was punching straight through a concrete wall. I was above him, and he was able to punch me. So they have a problem with meshes, and again, that's the fine tweaking I talked about. I think that they were. It's almost like they were, and I really hate to say this, I do, but it was almost like they were afraid. They were really anxious about saying, "This is what I need to do to get this game running." And again, that would probably fall in a lead designer or the overall person's ballpark where it just wasn't, or maybe even they decided not to worry about it. Maybe they had a meeting and they thought, okay, if this works, good enough. So I'm not really sure what the issue would be. God, I'm save spamming. I've already started. They may have already. See, there's the Raider mech. Yeah, that's. I don't know, buddy. It's probably looking the other way. See, I cannot do any damage. Jesus. Oh my God. Let me run. Oh, I gotta reload. I forgot I have manual reload. Whoa, I'm stuck. Mesh stuck. How many shotgun blasts is it gonna take this guy down? Whoops. This is not good. This is not good. Not good. Okay, now I've picked up somebody else shooting. Who else is shooting at me? Who else is actually shooting at me? Okay, so I'm over here. Maybe I can get a few shots in. He's mostly melee damage. There we go. Don't know what that caused that, but that definitely. Okay. Thank goodness for. Okay, who is shooting? There he is. I see him. Got him. All right, so let's go back to our. Let's go back to sniping here. Ouch. Okay, hopefully that took care of the last one. Yeah, it's the damage thing is really weird. I've never really stopped to take a look at the damage, what might actually cause the most damage. I actually thought it was in the back. Last time I remember doing it, I thought it was in the back. Let's switch over to our shotgun. Switch over to this for now. Okay, where's our steps going up? Over here. I actually thought it was shooting him in the back, but it wasn't. It looked like it was shooting him in the... It was shooting him sideways? Headshots don't do anything. I mean, technically you can see his face, and that's nothing more than a cage, but it assumes helmet. That's more that fine tweaking I was referring to. I'll take all of that. Gosh, my throat is getting dry. Give me... Hang on just a second. I apologize for that. Now let me get something to drink. Okay. We need to get into the front of the building. I'm going to go into the front. So raiders are definitely going to be a problem. But I'm going to hop up and get the bobblehead first. We're going to go that direction. Maybe I can get some extra healing items before I actually enter the building. What would actually, to me, what would be really, really interesting, and I do mean really, really interesting, is to have a survival playthrough using the same mod set. I mean, you can actually see the mods, using the exact same grouping of mods that I have now. But I can only use the weapons that I get. I'm gonna pretend I don't have any armor smith skills, weaponsmithing skills. I'm gonna have to use the weapons that I get. I can only use the items that I get. I don't think I want that. Let's go up through this tunnel. Let's get whatever we can. Let's salvage whatever we can salvage out of here before we go in, and then we're gonna go that way. I actually went up the wrong way. But only use what I can salvage. So only... Wasn't there something on that table? Only what I'm able to find along the way will I be able to use during that playthrough. So I'm not going to craft anything. I'm not going to upgrade anything. Now, if I find a weapon mod or I buy a weapon mod, absolutely. So if I get enough caps, if I can afford it, then absolutely. Let's see, do I really want that? It's 3 pounds. Steel and oil, no, not necessarily. So that would kind of be the playthrough. Wasn't there? I thought also I was thinking there was something else up here. Believe me, I've played this so much. I actually hit delete. Actually, delete. I do like a mental delete. Otherwise, it's going to be absolutely boring. So I try to kind of like have a mindset of when I play it, it's like, you know, kind of one of my very first few you know, not the first one, but like the very first few playthroughs that I've had. I did not get Piper. Piper would probably have been a better deal because she can headshot, and I believe with headshots they are more or less instantaneous. I do have in MAME, I do have turned off. Headshots cannot happen in VATS. I thought that might make it too easy. Because what wound up happening, no matter what my game was, what I actually wound up doing was migrating to the exact same play style, which would make sense to a certain degree. You know, people have a tendency to fall back on a certain play style. It's what works best for the player. I think there's another guy up here. Yeah, there is. I can actually looked at the radar at that time. There's actually a few more guys up here. So let's see. Don't want to go running up here, and I sure don't want to have to loot all that stuff again. I thought there was a guy right there. He is. I can see him. All right, let me take this guy out. Let's get rid of this guy if we can. I'm gonna try to shoot him right through the rail, right through the mesh. Wow, what kind of armor he got to be dealing with 308s. Okay, there's also another guy here. I've seen this guy. He's up on one of these. There he is. He's right there. Nope, that won't work. I gotta do this. I wonder if I can shoot him through the grid. No, that got him to stop. Yeah, I don't think I can shoot him through that grid. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so he's up there. Let's pepper him. Why not? Oh, I actually hit him, didn't I? Okay. Well, if he can hit me, I should be able to hit him. All right, let's go ahead and get up here. All right, where's that light? Okay, what's funny is once I hit him, it must have done something where it changes the reference ID. I need to get that bobblehead. He's up there. There he is. Okay. Hopefully that's the last one. But it actually changed his... must have changed his reference ID or something. Or it did something because it removed... it actually removed the highlight that was put on him. You know, he actually had like a... he was you know, he had like a targeting put on him, and then it removed... I think it's this way. It's this way. I always get mixed up back in here. See, the frame rate is not bad up here. You can see, probably notice a little bit of stuttering. But, or you can call it frame skipping. But it's really not that bad. For me, it looks really smooth, although it does tend to skip a few frames, because I think I've got it set. I think that's what Fluid Frames does in the AMD. I'll take that. It skips a few frames. Alright, I don't think I'll need this anymore. Alright, let's do a hard save here. Because I don't really... if for some weird reason something gets spawned behind me and at my low level, or at my current level, they all of a sudden spawn with a combat shotgun and shoot me point blank, I'm instantly dead. So, and in order to make my health so low with massive bleed outs that there's no way I could even react fast enough to even attempt to keep my NPC alive. You know, we could probably go in... I think we can go in the roof there. We could get roof access. But we're going to go in the lower level first. So I thought we would actually wind up clearing this building. And I think I might go ahead and split this video between making it to Corvega and taking on Corvega. I might do that, because I have a feeling that's going to be really, really, really long. And I want to try and prevent that. Let's go up. Let me get down to the... I don't think I can drop. That's too far to drop. That will break something. Oh, okay. You see the... We're gonna go through this rad storm. We're definitely gonna be here through this rad storm, because ghouls... It should spawn ghouls in a rad storm. So let me at least make it this far. But I'm going to need to have an escape. I need to have an escape route. So I need to have something readily available that I can use to put some distance and regroup between myself and ghouls. So I can kind of use the environment to my advantage. There used to be a guy up there, but that's the guy. That must be the guy that I killed. We're gonna... Normally these things highlight. So I'm gonna loot that. Let's loot him. Normally after I highlight, or after I loot bodies, the highlight goes off. But occasionally I will get a situation where it highlights it but won't. Okay, the Radstorm is not here yet. Let's see what this looks like. Let's turn off infrared for a moment, but we still have targeting on. We're actually going to go in Corvega here. Now, I don't believe that any ghouls are going to follow me through... I don't believe ghouls are going to... I do not believe the true storm ghouls will follow me in an interior cell. However, I do have it set up so that feral knights, those ghouls, will follow me into an internal cell. They will definitely follow me in. And that's going to make it bad, because if they spawn when I'm indoors, they will follow me in. And that's what they would have done to Diamond City. They would have followed me in Diamond City, and they would have killed every resident of Diamond City would have been killed. I've had it happen once before, and they killed everyone. See, like in this instance, this is not going to happen. Let's get some distance between us here. Oh, went the wrong way again. As usual. Let's go this way. Let's give them something to run through. Oops. Let's put some distance again. Okay. Let's see what we got. We'll take that. Man, I was getting ready to shoot dog meat. I'm like, oh my god. Instant reaction here. It kind of make you paranoid, like, I can't take any hits. I can't take any hits. When actually you probably could. But I'm not gonna test that going into here. Alright, so we do have a Radstorm in progress. We can see that. Let's see the Feral Miner. Let's see. Oh god, really, guys? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, we're back to this now. God, it takes enough shot. You know what? We are this is probably coming from true this is coming from true storms. So I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna use a double barrel shotgun. Okay, got him down. All right, let's see. We got one more. Oh, yeah, this has got. Okay, we're gonna have to get some space. Let's regroup. I got stuck on a little bitty bump or something there and couldn't move. Alright.
Entering killing mode. Your AP is too low.
Okay. Where'd he go? He vanished. Wow, talk about janky. Okay. They all vanished. Okay, now I know that's not Feral Knights. You know what I bet you happened? The Radstorm is leaving. I bet you the Radstorm is about to end. That is not Feral Knights, because I've got Feral Knights that they come out at night, but they ignore. If it's daytime, they're whatever spawns, stay spawned. So I'm thinking that must be part of True Storms, where the rad storm is ready to leave, so the ghouls follow the rad storms. But in my opinion, once they're engaged, what in the world did I grab? Once the ghouls are engaged, they should not follow a rad storm, because I would imagine they're hunting. So if they're out hunting, once they're engaged in combat with the player, they should stay engaged in combat with the player, and they shouldn't just up and vanish like that. I think that's kind of a bug or something in True Storms. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a hard save and stop this particular one, and I will the next one, to keep the videos relatively short, or at least hopefully the same amount of time. I'm gonna move this into the next one, where normally I'd make it all one, but I do want to have an analytical part of these videos so I can take a look at any errors, because again, this is also about modding the game. Okay, all right. Well, guys, I'll come back here in just a little bit, and I will do the inside of Corvega. We'll take that on and see if we can survive a raider onslaught and whatever else this game is probably going to throw at us.